You don't have a discipline problem. You have a follow-through problem, and those are not the same thing. Because you can want to do something, plan it, even feel motivated to start, and still not follow through. So the question isn't, why can't I be more disciplined? It's, why do I keep breaking my own intentions? And if you've ever said, I'll do it later, I'll start tomorrow, this time will be different, but it isn't, this is the part that actually explains it. You sit down to do something important, you know exactly what needs to happen, you've thought about it all day, and then nothing. Or you open it, do a bit, then drift. Or you avoid it completely and tell yourself you'll come back later. And later never really comes. Here's where this gets frustrating, because it's not like you don't care. You do. That's why it bothers you. That's why it sits in your head. That's why it creates that low-level pressure all day. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think, if I cared more, I'd follow through. But you already care. That's not the problem. If this is you, your pattern probably looks like this. You have good intentions. You plan things properly. You even get moments of motivation. But your follow-through feels unreliable. Sometimes you show up, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go all in, sometimes you avoid it completely. There's no consistency. And over time, that creates something much heavier than procrastination. It creates doubt, not in the task, in yourself. You stop believing your own plans. You don't trust, I'll do it later, because experience says you probably won't. And this changes everything, because now it's not just about getting things done. It's about whether you can rely on yourself at all. So why does this keep happening? Why do you keep breaking your own plans even when you want to follow through? It's not laziness. It's not lack of discipline, it's something much more practical. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You don't follow through because your actions aren't repeatable. And this is the part most people never look at. They focus on effort. How hard did I try? But your brain doesn't trust effort. It trusts patterns. And right now, your pattern looks like this. You try to do too much, you wait until it feels right, you rely on motivation to carry you, and that creates inconsistency. Sometimes you act, sometimes you don't, which makes your behaviour unpredictable. And here's the problem. Your brain doesn't trust unpredictable systems, even when that system is you. And this is where this gets interesting, because the issue isn't that you don't follow through, it's that you can't predict when you will. And if something isn't predictable, your brain won't rely on it. So self-discipline isn't the solution here. Self-trust is. And self-trust doesn't come from intensity. It comes from repeatability, from doing something and knowing you'll do it again, even on a bad day, especially on a bad day. And this changes everything, because now the goal isn't do more, instead it's do something I can actually repeat. And this is exactly why most productivity systems don't work. They're built for your best days, clear mind, high energy, strong motivation, but your life isn't lived on your best days. It's lived on your average days, your distracted days, your low energy days. And when your system doesn't work there, you don't just lose progress, you lose trust. And that's the gap most people are stuck in. Not a lack of knowledge, a lack of something that actually works when it's hard. So here's what actually fixes follow through. Not more discipline, better design. So step one, make it smaller than you want to. You're aiming too high, not in ambition, but in starting point. So instead of, I need to work on this properly, shift to, I'm going to start for 5 minutes. And here's the key. You actually do it because it's small enough to begin. Step two, remove the pressure to do it well. Most resistance isn't about effort. It's about expectation, doing it properly, doing it right, doing it perfectly. That's what creates friction. So instead, you lower the standard, not permanently, just enough to start. Step three, stop before it breaks. This is where most people sabotage themselves. They finally start and then they push too far until it feels heavy again, which makes the next session harder. So instead, you stop early while it still feels manageable. And this feels wrong at first, but it's what makes it repeatable. Now you repeat that. Small start, low pressure, stop early, again and again. And this is where something shifts. Your brain starts to recognize the pattern. We do this. And once that happens, follow through stops feeling like effort. It starts feeling automatic. And this is the part most people miss. You don't build self-trust by proving you can do a lot. You build it by proving you'll do something consistently. So If you've been struggling to follow through, it's not because you're broken, it's because you've been trying to operate in a way your brain doesn't trust. Too big, too inconsistent, too dependent on how you feel. Fix that and follow through stops being a fight. It becomes a pattern. If this clicked for you, that's what this channel is all about, making action feel possible again, not just when you're motivated, but when you're not. And this is where most people go wrong next. They try to build consistency, but they do it in a way that guarantees they burn out again. So watch this next video, because if you fix that part, everything you're trying to build becomes a lot easier to maintain.